Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by our little spot to hang out with us today. If you like the music on this channel, go to our YouTube music channel at Drizzlerworks Music, or just click on the link in this video. There we have calming and study music to chill out to or for your next grind. Your support helps us reach good people like yourself. So with that said, today we're diving into a topic that cuts deep, something so many of us deal with but don't always recognize in ourselves. We're talking about self-sabotage, and more importantly, we are unmasking the myths that surround it. Now let's be honest. The term self-sabotage is often tossed around like some dramatic label. People say things like, "I know I'm my own worst enemy," or "I always get my own way." But when we strip back the layers, we discover that self-sabotage isn't always what we assume, and the myths we attach to it actually make it harder to heal. So in this video, we're going to unpack those myths, challenge false beliefs, and create a clear understanding of what's really happening underneath the surface. By the end, you'll not only see self-sabotage differently, you'll also take away practical tools to break the cycle. Myth 1. Self-sabotage means you're weak. Many people think sabotaging yourself proves weakness, laziness, or a lack of willpower. That belief is perhaps the most damaging myth of all. Here's the reality. Self-sabotage is rarely about weakness. In fact, it often grows out of deep survival strategies we learn to protect ourselves. Childhood experiences, rejection, or even harsh self-criticism wired into us coping patterns. And while those old patterns served us once, they can limit us today. Think about procrastination. You might delay a big project, and immediately people assume you're being lazy. But beneath procrastination often lies fear of failure, or strangely, even fear of success. Our brains confuse safety with familiarity. If stepping up to a new challenge puts you in uncharted territory, your subconscious pulls back the reins. That doesn't signal weakness. It signals an outdated protective system. Myth 2. Self-sabotage is always conscious. Here's another misconception. We assume self-sabotage is always deliberate, like we're fully aware of what we're doing while we ruin our progress. But often it's happening in the background. It's like an invisible script running silently in our minds. We don't consciously set out to create obstacles. Instead, we drift back into habits that feel safer, even when those habits hold us back. For example, let's say you finally start a healthy routine, then suddenly you skip it for 2 weeks. On the outside, it looks like you just slacked off. But deeper down, maybe your identity hasn't caught up yet. If you've always believed, "I'm not the kind of person who's disciplined," your mind feels uneasy with a new identity that challenges the story. So ironically, you self-sabotage to keep reality aligned with your old self-image. It feels consistent, even though it's painful. Myth 3. Self-sabotage means you don't want it bad enough. This one hurts the most. How often do people dismiss others with the phrase, "If you really wanted it, you'd figure it out"? But here's the problem. Desire alone is not enough to override subconscious programming. Self-sabotage isn't about lack of desire. It's about conflicting desires. One part of you desperately wants growth, success, or love. Another part of you, usually the protective part, fears the unknown that comes with change. It's like pressing the gas and the brakes at the same time. You want progress, but your subconscious wants safety. That tug of war doesn't mean you want it less. It just proves that the mind holds multiple truths at once. The key isn't shaming yourself for not trying hard enough. It's understanding the internal conflict and treating it with compassion. Myth 4. Self-sabotage is a permanent trait. So many people adopt the belief, "That's just who I am. I'll always mess things up." This myth is dangerous because it convinces you change is pointless. But let's clarify. Self-sabotage is not a fixed identity. It's a learned behavior rooted in past environments. And like any learned behavior, it can be unlearned. Neuroscience shows the brain is plastic. It constantly forms new connections. With awareness, practice, and persistence, the wiring can change. The person who once sabotaged every opportunity can absolutely grow into someone who trusts themselves to follow through. But it requires shifting perspective. Instead of, "That's just who I am," we begin asking, "What does this behavior try to protect me from?" That reframe marks the first step toward transformation. Myth 5. You have to eliminate self-sabotage completely. Here's a big secret. The The goal isn't to eliminate self-sabotage altogether, because self-sabotage is simply your survival brain trying to protect you. If you try to kill it, you only reinforce the inner battle. Instead, the goal is integration. It's learning how to talk with those protective parts of yourself without letting them drive the car. Picture it like this. Your inner saboteur isn't a villain. It's more like an overprotective friend. They mean well, but they don't realize how much they're holding you back. So instead of resisting, we respond, "Thank you for wanting to keep me safe, but I've got this now." That shift transforms sabotage into self-awareness, and it softens the power it has over you. Practical tools to break the cycle. Now that we've unmasked the myths, how do we actually interrupt sabotage in action? Let's go step by step. Awareness first. Catch the pattern. Notice where you tend to derail progress, whether in relationships, career, self-care, or habits. Name the fear. Ask, what am I afraid will happen if I succeed here? You may uncover fears of rejection, judgment, or even responsibility. Reframe mistakes. Failure doesn't make you unworthy, it makes you human. Switching from shame to learning reduces the pressure that fuels sabotage. Micro-commitments. Instead of tackling massive change overnight, build trust with yourself by completing small actions consistently. Each win rewires your identity. Practice self-compassion. Harsh criticism triggers more sabotage. Compassion unlocks resilience. Most importantly, remember, overcoming self-sabotage isn't about becoming a flawless machine. It's about building trust with yourself so that over time, your habits, choices, and beliefs work with your goals instead of against them. Final thoughts. The myths about self-sabotage keep so many people locked in cycles of guilt and shame. But now you know better. Self-sabotage doesn't mean you're weak. It usually hides fear. It doesn't prove you don't want it. It doesn't sentence you to a lifetime of failure. And it definitely doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. And with the right tools, you can rewrite the script. So the next time you catch yourself sabotaging, instead of saying, "Here I go again, ruining it all," pause and ask, what part of me is scared? And how can I reassure it? That one shift can change everything. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. I have more videos, so feel free to watch them as well. I appreciate each and every one of you. God bless you. See you in the next video.